So as Carol was saying, we had a discussion in satsang last week about the student-teacher relationship. And so tonight we're going to extend that into a meditation exploration. We were talking last time about discovering what the meaning of the term guru was. And the guru means that which dispels darkness. And that the purpose of the guru in the flesh, so to speak, the incarnated person who is functioning as a guide or a teacher, is to put you in touch with the guru within. And the guru within is what we call in the tantric tradition a tattva. That is to say, one of the elements of the universe that make up us and every other phenomenon in the universe. So the tattvas are generally considered to be five: Prithvi, Apas, Tejas, and so that means the earth, fire, earth, water, fire, and then air and the ether or the emptiness. But there's another tattva called guru, which flows down and is also part of our makeup, part of one of the constituents of our own person. So getting in touch with that guru tattva within ourselves is an important step. So that's the foundation information for tonight's meditation. So if you want to get comfortable and finding a position where you can be both comfortable, relaxed, and alert with your spine in a nice upright position. And then close your eyes and let's begin. So first you want to do a little inventory of your body, noticing where you might be holding tension. Check your scalp, for example. If there's tightness in the scalp, you can release that. And then moving on down to the forehead. Just looking within at what's happening inside yourself. Any tension around the eyes or the mouth, facial muscles in general, if they are tight or tense, you can release that. You don't need to maintain any particular facial expression during meditation. So you can let that go. And then the jaw. The muscles of the jaw, the masseters. And the tongue, just relaxing the tongue itself. And then the muscles of the shoulders, letting the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to float around the spinal column. And some of you have been through this routine many times, but it's always good to start with that. Releasing any tension in the arms, wrists, palms, fingers. And then torso, the chest, abdomen, pelvis, wherever you find any tension, just let that go. You don't need to hold it tight for this purpose. The legs, the thighs, the back of the thighs, the front of the thighs, the lower legs. Just releasing tightness in the arches of the feet and the toes. When we release all that tension, we bring that energy back to the core of our bodies. So we're not losing energy out on the surface of the body. Have it all within the spine, core of your being, to work with during the meditation. So we're kind of going around retrieving energy, releasing muscles, recollecting that energy so it's not wasted on the surface of the body, distracting us. Very important. So follow up with the breath, with your attention, up the spine with the breath for a few moments. Enjoying that energy you brought back to the spine. Following up from the lower tip of the spine up to the crown of the head as you inhale. And back down as you exhale. Now I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to the point between the nostrils. Last year we did a number of meditations like this. This is a little different. So focus in a very one-pointed way on that point between the nostrils. where the nasal septum joins the upper lip. And just let your attention settle there for a minute. And notice the cool air flowing on each side of that point as you inhale. On both sides. And the warm air flowing on both sides of that point as you exhale. And you might remember that what this does is it begins to equalize the flow in the two nostrils, which we call opening sushumna, or the central channel, which allows us to begin to move into a meditative state. Just maintaining that focus on the point between the nostrils. With the awareness of the flow on each side of that point. So by now you should be settling into that point. Sort of grounded there. Having your attention established at that point between the nostrils. Just notice how that feels and what shifts you might notice in your awareness by doing that. And now we're going to follow up from that point. On inhalation, much as we do up the spine, inhaling up, exhaling down, but this time we're doing it in this shorter stretch between the point between the nostrils and the point between the eyebrows. So as you inhale, let your attention sweep up from the point between the nostrils, up toward the point between the eyebrows. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Letting your attention sweep back down to the point between the nostrils on exhalation. And back up on inhalation. Just moving between those 2 points. And if you wish, You can use a mantra like Soham during this little part of the meditation. Inhaling so upward and hum back down. Or any other meditation that is, or any other mantra that is coordinated with the breath. And when you feel that that is vivid enough in your attention, in your awareness, that you can feel confident that you've established that pathway up from the point between the nostrils to the point between the eyebrows, then you can begin to allow your attention to rest on the point between the eyebrows. Which, as most of you know, is the sixth chakra, Agya or Ajna chakra. Which means a little bit of knowing, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom. So let your attention rest there on that center, noticing what the effect of that is. The seed sound at this center, the seed sound of the chakra is Om. So you can imagine that as you let your attention rest here. Om, Om, Om. That will facilitate establishing a point at this area, in this area. Om. And perhaps as you do this, you may feel some intensity developing in that area. And this is sometimes a useful point to focus on during meditation. But tonight we're passing through this point. Of course, we're getting established here. Now, once you feel settled in at this point, we're going to begin to move up a bit further So inhaling up from this point to a point about an inch higher, not very far. So it's not between the eyebrows, it's a bit further, just above that. So we're going to do what we did before. We're going to inhale up from the point between the eyebrows to this slightly higher point on inhalation. And then exhale back down to the point between the nostrils, the point between the eyebrows. Exhale back down. So we're just going back and forth in this short little span between the point between the eyebrows of the sixth chakra. And another chakra is not often discussed, but exists just an inch higher. So again, inhaling up, exhaling down, back and forth, until you feel you can abandon the point between the eyebrows and actually let your attention rest on that slightly higher point, an inch or so above. So if this is a new resting place for you, it may feel difficult to locate at the beginning. That's all right, just take your time. Using the sixth chakra as a reference point, I'm just going a little bit higher. Experimenting until you find a point that feels like, yeah, this feels like a place I should rest. And when you do, just allow your attention to rest there. And around this point's actually in the center of a small triangle pointing upward. So that may or may not be aware. That may or may not be in your awareness then. But as you settle here, you may be able to notice that surrounding triangle. A small triangle. Just settling there. Now there's a mantra that help steady you at this point. And the mantra goes like this. Starts with Om, like just below. Om, Om, Guruve, Guruve, V-E, Guruve Namaha. Om, 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 Guruve Namaha. So if you silently imagine that mantra with your attention fixed on this point, surrounded by a triangle pointing upward, that's the practice. This chakra is called the Guru chakra. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Guruve Namaha. Om. Sound. Focus on the point. Visualization of the triangle. And that's repeated until it begins to be fully downloaded and installed. So this is a practice that needs to be implemented for a period of time, maybe weeks or months, before you feel the full effect. That is to say, before you feel the access here, which is where it is, the access to the Guru within. You might say messages from the Guru within are delivered here. To be able to open those messages and read them, you will need to practice this, to establish this point in your awareness, establish it firmly, activate it. Once you activate it, it's functioning, then information is available. As you focus on this point, visualizing the triangle, imagining or hearing the sound in silence. Om Guruve Namaha. You will become, it will become activated. You will have access. You might say the Guru Tattva flows to here. Just staying with it for a while. Triangle. Once you activate this center, awaken this Guru Chakra, and you have a question, a sincere question about your spiritual practice or your directions you should take, you approach this point and answers are forthcoming. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Guruve Namaha. Om. Okay, we're going to gently and gradually emerge from this meditation, but very slowly and very gently. So, first thing is you can let go of the mantra, visualization, triangle. And you can begin to reverse the movement, coming down from that root chakra to the point between the eyebrows on exhalation. And again, inhaling up, exhaling down for a little period to make that transition. Back to the sixth chakra. And when you reach the sixth chakra and it's vivid and clear to you, you can begin to let go the point above and just let your attention rest on the point between the eyebrows. Please do this slowly and gradually. And after you've done that and rested briefly at the point between the eyebrows, you can begin the descent from the point between the eyebrows down to the point between the nostrils. Exhaling down toward the point between the nostrils. Inhaling back up to the point between the eyebrows. Extending that downward progressively until you connect with the point between the nostrils. And when you connect to the point between the nostrils, you can begin to release the point between the eyebrows, meaning you don't inhale up as far. And you less and less upward until you're resting on the point between the nostrils. And now, inhaling from the point between the nostrils down through the chest, through the respiratory pathways to the heart center. And exhaling back up to the point between the nostrils is the last leg of our journey. And when you've connected with this point, the heart center, just let your attention rest there. Notice how that feels different from where you were a few moments ago. Just resting at the heart center. And now, from the heart center, we're going to begin to expand that awareness out toward the hands, up toward the head, down toward the feet, staying anchored at the heart center, but expanding outward from it. Until you begin to include awareness of your hands, of the surface of your body, of your feet, of your head. And then awareness of the space around you, awareness of the other people in this Zoom room. And gradually, you can begin to move your fingers a little, your toes, a little your head a little bit. And finally, you can raise your hands, cover your eyes with your palms, just taking a little intervening darkness break there. And then when you're ready, allow your palms to float down to the lap, opening your eyes, keeping your gaze fixed on your palms until they get to your lap and until you're ready to look around. No hurry. Go deep into meditation. You must go slowly and you must emerge slowly, or you will traumatize yourself and then it'll be difficult to go there. So taking a moment to reorient. And then you can begin to look back on this experience and see if you have any questions or any comments, or anything you would like to share, anything more you would like to understand about this practice and what it does. If you have something to say, just unmute yourself, say your name, and then I'll be happy to hear what's on your mind.
This is Jerry. I've noticed, well, last couple of times especially, and today really, that I'm, meditating, but then I find that my chin is on my chest, and I lift my head back up, and next thing I know, it's back down there again.
Ah, yeah. You say your chin is on your chest.
Yeah.
Meaning
my
your
head.
head's dropped.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't realize that until sometime through it, and I'm going, I can feel it. I'm going, oh, I lift it back up, and it happened, I think, 3 times this time.
Yeah, it's a common obstacle in the path to meditation, and it has to do with the spine and the energy moving up and down the spine. Hatha yoga helps establish that pathway, and breath work helps establish the pathway up and down the spine. And it's the energy moving up and down the spine that actually holds you in that erect place. It's not the muscles. Exactly. It's not exactly just muscular action. It's actually the energetics of the flow of the spine. So, you know, there are various practices that help with that. Network chiropractic is really excellent in terms of changing that. That's possible.
All right, thank you.
Will you clarify the mantra?
Well, the question is, will I clarify the mantra? And the mantra is Om Guruve, Guruve, Guru.
Do I spell
Like,
it?
pardon me?
Can you spell it?
If you spelled it in, you know, our letters, it would be Guruve or Vay, maybe Guruve. Guru Om Guruve Namaha. Namaha. It's a short, simple mantra, and it focuses on and activates that center, which is here. For most people, no matter every people's foreheads are shaped differently, but above the eyebrows, the crest of the eyebrows, there's often a depression right there, little depressed spot, and that's where the Guru Chakra is. See, right there. Great, good question.
This is Linda, and so I also wanted to understand how to say that mantra, but my experience was extraordinary with this meditation, and it felt like something new and something very old to me.
That makes sense. It's not a big thing. And they're in us collectively and in the universe for a long, long time. And, you know, unfortunately, not popular. Not a lot of people use it. We're too caught up in our other, listening to other voices, you know, like, you know, from our devices or from our divisive interactions with people. So it's been ignored to a great extent, but it's been there, and it's very ancient, and it's also a new discovery for most people. That makes sense.
I would also like to second the idea of network chiropractic.
Yeah.
I think because of that, I'm able to meditate so much better.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that comment. Great. Who else? Or is everybody got it and ready to roll?
Amiji, this is Shiv. My experience was when you were asking us to go to this point, I felt a lot of silence.
A lot of
Silence. There was no, when I was repeating the mantra, it was just silence. It was
Good.
very still.
good, good. That's
And
great.
after I came out of it, I felt very more peaceful, more grounded within myself. But
Yeah, well, it's an excellent place to ground yourself.
okay.
You know, we have this chakra, which allows us to see in ways that other senses don't see. So we can see into the future or the past or whatever. But from here, there's a long way up to here where we're back with the unitary consciousness in the integral state of being. So what happens between here and here? There's a lot of space. And, you know, the next step is up to the Guru Chakra, where you can find, still as a separate being, but you get guidance to help you move the rest of the way up to here.
Thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Is all this making sense to people, or are people going, what is he talking about? I don't know, I can't tell what you're thinking.
This is David Salee. I mean, I can give a little feedback. I mean, I've
Right.
I've never done a meditation that I've spent so much time on that chakra, and I didn't know about the mantra for that chakra, and I found it to be really powerful. I mean, I could palpably feel like, I don't know what to call it, but I mean, I felt it. I could, like, physically, like as if I were pushing on it or something with my finger. It was really
Right.
powerful.
You were pushing on it with your attention and your energy.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it starts waking up. Good.
Thank you.
Very good. Christina, you have any comments, questions? So good to
Hi.
see you.
It's so good to see you. This is fun. I'm excited by the idea that this is a tattva that is like a secret knowledge, hidden wisdom tattva, because I don't remember learning about the Guru tattva. And I really like the idea that this kind of guidance is part of our makeup. So I'm excited by this. I'm glad I tuned
Great.
in.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Well, if you are intrigued, then I would encourage you to practice it for a while and see what happens. I think you will be, you'll find it helpful. And if it doesn't grab you right now, then that's all right. Just put it away in your files, and at some point you might want to come back and use it. Remembering that this meditation is on the YouTube channel. You can go to it anytime. So if you don't remember what we did and you want to work with it, just go turn it on, sit and listen to it. You'll be guided through it. Again, how about that? Yes.
I'm curious,
Jody.
So the intermarriage we talk about happening, that they kind of like go on their honeymoon or go to live in the third eye. What is the relationship of the guru chakra to, or this point to the intermarriage?
Well, its position would suggest that it's post-marital, not premarital. Yeah.
Is it another, is it just like one rung above on the Sushumna? Is that what we're getting at here?
Yeah, it's Sushumna, and it is not bilateral, it's central. And it's, so, it really, like, you probably to some extent, it's necessary to work with the sixth chakra before you go here. But I don't know exactly how much you have established this. But I know to some extent you have to be able to get here before you can go up. So, and a lot of people have worked with the third eye or sixth chakra. So that's not unknown to most people that have practiced meditation.
Swamiji, this is Shiv. I was taught by the Himalayan Institute about the Visoka meditation, and they take the attention to this point, exactly this point which you're talking about. And Visoka also talks about this point, but you can't access this point directly, like you said. You have to work your way through this point, the Agni Chakra, to get it to the point. It's a very hard chakra to access directly. It's very hard to access it. If you try to focus directly, you can't get there. So you have to go through this chakra.
So that's why the steps that we were doing tonight are helpful, because you slowly work your way up until you're here. And so you may need to practice a while to feel like you're established here at the third eye, like we did tonight, and then you can go up. But if you feel like, well, I'm not getting here, then that's okay. And there's no hurry. Just stop and spend some weeks or months just learning to get steady here at the third eye, point between the eyebrows. There's no hurry. There's not a train leaving up here that you'll miss. Just take your time. Good. Well, if you have, you have a question.
I just was going to comment that thank you. I found it to be really moving, and I feel like I'm really at peace now, and I can feel it still in the heart chakra, I guess. So.
Good. And say your name.
I'm sorry, I'm Paul Powell.
Okay.
Thank you.
Paul Powell. Okay. Great. Yeah, good. I'm glad that resonated for you. Good. Anything else before we close for the evening? It's 8:30. I'm glad you all came tonight. It's great, a good thing to get in touch with, and I hope that you all continue to explore and learn. And girls,
So as Swami Ravi mentioned, you can find this and many other of our satsangs and meditations and previous endeavors on our Dancing Shiva YouTube channel. David Salee and Arabella are supporting us on that effort to have those ready for everyone to revisit. So,
And we thank them.
and we thank them for supporting us on that with that.
Yeah.
So next week, join us next week at the same time for a new satsang topic. And we generate the topics ourselves, but we are always open to your input. So if you have something that came through through this meditation or has come to you during this week, send an email to dancingshivatantra@gmail.com with the topic, and we will likely include that as our discussion for next week. Yes, and it's delightful to see all of you, see some of you returning, see new folks, and we appreciate your support in being here. We also appreciate your financial support in order for us to be able to bring you this every week. And love to see you next week. So let's say goodnight. So you can unmute and say goodnight, say thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Night.
Thank you.
Night.
Hi, thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Good to see everybody.
Night.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
Arabella.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Mhm.